coming up, episode 1 of what we can only assume will be wildly popular and critically acclaimed.
Of course.
This is verse, chorus, verse.
This may or may not be accurate. I don't know why I call it that. Yeah, it's a nice little breakdown to this soft landing at the end, which is pretty cool because the next track, You, kind of comes in with this distorted synth, kind of grindy
probably every
sounding
couple
thing.
months. This year being 1997, and we're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna dissect
stuff, but maybe driving a little bit too fast too. But that is traditionally how I would really take in new music. Nowadays, that's a struggle. It's very, very piecemeal now. It's finding new songs instead of new albums. There's so much more.
a bit of maraschino in there and a lime wheel, and I'm ready to go. I feel like Svend, what are you drinking?
I might be skipping ahead so you can re-ask it later, but you had said something about like, if you could have anyone on this album, who would it be? And I was like, well, I really like that previous, I think on Red, she did a duet with Ed Sheeran, and I was super into that.
He was a great guy, but he was pretty strict about that sort of thing. He immediately saw a vibraphonist, which is an odd instrument, and said, we are now a quartet. And so he became part of the Benny Goodman Quartet for 4 years, which, by the way, was the first interracial jazz group.
I wish I had that kind of a voice. He's got this awesome balance of huge range and power, but there's times where he can just...
Somebody uses it. I mean, because I've gotten DMs and videos of stuff where points of view are just so drastic. I never thought of that or whatever. That's a trip, dude. When someone takes what you've done and they just think of it this way or that way, or the fact that like most of my vocals on that first record are so muddy, you see people's versions of it and that lets you into what they're thinking.
Not quack quack like
Rewind.
melodic death. All of them, played in Flames at some point. Michael Stano is still the singer for Dark Tranquility, another band from that area. I love this. It's
Coffee,
a throwback.
But then I just gotten over with coffee, so I just bought a gigantic Topo Chico.
How long have you been drinking for today?
I'm going to tell you a secret. There was no alcohol in that. Am I a crazy person drinking at 2 p.m.?
Like us, it's like it will always be. So you just have to, teach your children well.
Yeah.
And just hope it goes that way, This can all be over tomorrow, so just enjoy it while it's here. That's what it feels like right now. Feels like it's pretty fucked up, so just enjoy whatever you got right now. And if that's records and going to concerts when you can, then believe me, that's what I want to do.
Every episode. Not every episode, that's a little harsh. Every season.
That has definitely changed my view of that band's music.
Okay.
Interested and wanted to talk with us afterwards. Yeah. It was really special. It was really special. And we were talking about the very end of the set and about
and it's gonna fucking melt my face and I'll love it, but it's a sometimes food for me even.
It's true.
We were a class about the Holocaust, and one of the movies, it was just movies, and one of the ones we watched was Propaganda by Leni Riefenstahl. And one of the things that she did was first couple rows of the Nazi youth are the most attractive kids you've ever seen. And then past that, like, they get uglier and uglier because they were trying to recruit more people because they're like, oh, look at this fun group of boys that are so attractive.
It's almost like it's an advertising company.
Yeah.
It was, she was literally hired for that purpose.
It's worked for...
Speaking of, I'm wearing my Northern Idaho shirt.
Hey.
Coeur d'Alene.
Safety third. Nice.
Safety third.
Coeur d'Alene, baby.
Also, Coeur d'Alene's.
You want to find one of the places in the world where... Bye, Evil.
Evil has it in his whole house.
Yeah, well, Evil's got one of those new houses with fucking
shit.
Nice edges and fucking smooth surfaces.
It's so pretty.
Modern.
He's back.
All right, what do you guys want to talk about?
I know.
200 fucking episodes. I don't know if you guys knew or not, but doing one thing for 200 weeks in a row, I'm pretty sure that's the definition of insanity. Welcome everybody to Verse Chorus Verse. I don't have an outline, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yay!
My name is DL. Yay!
I'm so excited.
With me, as always, is Rachel, who needs an outline polio. Rachel, how much have you drank already today?
I just tried what I was making because I've never made it before to test the sweetness on it. and it needed more sugar. So
okay.
added more sugar.
Let me test what I'm drinking. and
Oh, hey, look, buddy. Evil, did you bring your Hennessy?
I almost
it's
got some
interesting.
Hennessy, but I
God damn it, Evil.
You just need to have a big
not.
bottle ready.
Evil, no Hennessy, no problems, Jimmy. Evil, how are you this morning?
I'm good. That had a little bit
That's
of a question mark.
convincing.
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Are you sure?
Did you eat finger steaks, a grilled cheese sandwich, and ice cream last night?
No, I feel good. It's morning, but I am a slow starter.
What time did you wake up? How many minutes ago did you wake up, brother?
I've been up for a while.
Okay.
I would think that out of all of us, it's Rachel is the latest waker-upper.
100%. But I'm also a morning person. So
Yeah.
my alarm goes off at 9.
Oh.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, we have the household where the baby and Amanda wake up just fucking firing on all, just 110% loud as fuck, ready to go.
Yeah.
And Caroline and I are just.
Don't talk to
I
us.
would rather you not talk to me until it's 8 a.m. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, Megan is
kinda
like
rude of
bounce
them.
out of her alarm goes off and she's just up doing stuff. She can't stand laying in bed.
Love it.
If she's awake. I'm like snooze, second snooze, third snooze, and that's during the week.
That's so many snoozes.
I have 3 snoozes on the week.
I'm the weird mixture of the guy that I jump out of bed, but I don't like life in the morning. I don't want to be awake.
You got to get up and actively hate the day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm an anger waker. Yes. Well, see, this is what I don't know what the fuck. What are we going to talk
What are we
about?
doing?
Guys?
What's happening?
What are we drinking?
Actually, what I do. Why don't we make CDs? Actually, yeah, sorry, Rachel, lead the charge.
For what? Alcohols?
For the most important part of the morning, what are we drinking?
It's 9 a.m. in Idaho. So I did bring a big bottle of Henny because I feel like you insinuated somewhere in the 30,000 texts that there was going to be Hennessy. No. But
Yes.
also for a beverage in my special cup that you actually can't see, which is unfortunate because I put some lemonade, some Simply lemonade in ice cube trays last night.
I love that Rachel is doing excited. Look at what I've done for my drink, and Evil's got the disgusted
Fuck is
look
wrong
on his
with her?
face.
Okay. So I made some lemonade ice
Evil,
cubes.
next time we're all at a bar together, will you please make that face at the mixologist who's making our drink and explaining what he made? Please. So, okay, go ahead. Sorry, Rachel.
That's okay. Yes.
It's just my face.
It is just his face. Lemonade ice cubes. Pop that in a blender with some more lemonade, Simply lemonade, because I'm fancy. And then I got some Empress gin. I'd say I measured it, but in the end, it didn't end up being measured. And tried that. It was a little too tart, so I added some vanilla syrup, like just coffee syrup, Tirani
Okay.
in there. Because I didn't have. Because when I looked at. When I looked at a recipe yesterday, it said lavender syrup, and I was like,
gross.
where the fuck am I going to find lavender syrup in this city? And I didn't
It's
try.
a lemonade
So,
macchiato.
It's very refreshing. It's a little tart. It needs a little bit more sweetener, I think. I can see why they had the lavender syrup in there. It's delicious.
Is it?
I'm really excited about it. Also, Empress Gin is so pretty. How come nobody ever told me about it?
What? I've used
Empress
that
gin is really
multiple
good.
times.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. So,
Wait, did
anyway,
you?
that's
So
what I
did you
have.
purposely buy Empress gin?
Yeah.
What?
So one of my
Oh,
friends is
evil.
getting married.
A little tear
In,
rolls
like-
down our eye because we are. Look at you! It took us
Yes,
4
what-
years.
See, just for the long haul. One of my friends is getting married, and I found this recipe for this lemonade slushy thing, and I'm throwing her a party, and I thought that would be a good summer drink.
Is it
So
outdoor?
I thought I would experiment today. Yeah,
So
it's in my backyard.
what is it? What
My
are
big deck.
Is she same age as you?
She is not. She's a child.
Is she,
She
okay.
is in her 20s.
God.
So
Wait,
yeah.
so
Barely
Idiot.
cooked.
she had the old person do the bachelorette party?
So she is like the oldest person at heart. She goes to bed at about 8 a.m., wakes up at 4. You know,
Got it.
she's that kind of lady.
A woman after my own heart.
8 a.m. Most next impressive drink.
Who's drinking the most? The answer would be me. Who's drinking the most impressive drink? is probably Evil.
Evil.
Well, I mean, I already know what
know.
Evil's drinking, and he's drinking my favorite beverage. So I guess
I can't say I looked at the picture.
with my favorite alcohol for that beverage. So I think we should probably go to Evil.
So I have a boozy coffee.
Oh, it's so
but
pretty.
It's an Irish coffee.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I felt decadent, so I bought some Green Spot for the Irish whiskey, which seems sacrilegious.
So decadent.
But it's delicious. And
It's like
Wait.
too nice to put in an Irish coffee, but it is
Yeah.
so fucking good in an
Yeah.
Irish coffee.
I do not disagree. And yeah, so it's a Green Spot Irish coffee.
Okay, because I'm a dumb idiot.
Yeah.
Whiskey with an E is outside of Scotland, but this
Evil?
says Irish
they,
on
they
it.
use the E for Irish whiskey as well.
Oh, okay.
Without an E, it's usually Scotch. Usually. Not always, but usually.
What if it's French?
Then it's
I'm
cognac,
just saying.
and they use grapes. That's what you guys are drinking. Grape
Cognac?
whiskey. Which is what the French call it.
What
I'm
is
pretty
it?
sure. That's what cognac means, grape whiskey.
No. I had mixed up
That's-
bourbon in my head. I think technically, and I'll have to look this up too. I think technically, it can
bourbon's
only be
in
called
Kentucky.
bourbon if it's from Kentucky. But I
Like champagne's supposed to only be from
from
Champagne
Champagne.
in France.
Yeah.
That's a loose rule because there are a lot of bourbons not from Kentucky.
Yeah, I
There's a
just
lot of
like
champagne
if
that's
you
not
if
from-
you read books, they'll be like, technically, if it's not from Kentucky, it's not a bourbon. But
And everyone else is like, go fuck yourself. We're calling it bourbon.
go fuck yourself. Yes.
Fun story because there's no rules today. The last time I was in Scotland, they were talking about how the Kentuckians only use their barrels one time. So they buy the barrels from Kentucky and then reuse them for their whiskey in Scotland.
Oh, I like
Correct.
Isn't that interesting?
that. I like it.
It's so
Yeah, that's
So
to
planet
be bourbon,
friendly.
it has to be in new oak. That's like one of the actual requirements.
that is so good. I should make you guys these slushies next 4th of July.
I'll drink it. We should do a mix because the only I don't do great at growing shit in my yard, but I always do have really really good mint. And so all summer I'm using the mint. It
You
makes
should grow some lavender.
I think I told my lavender story though on this pod.
Tell it again. It's been 4 years.
Okay. That's a good point. It has been 4 years. Happy 200th episode, everybody. We're winging it. So this has no... Lavender at one point was one of my favorite smells in the world. I loved it so much. It was honestly, it was one of the top reasons I wanted to go to southern France because they have lavender fields all over the place and stuff. That and they have really good wine and vineyards and hot
Grape
women.
whiskey.
And hot whiskey. They actually do have hot whiskey. I didn't know was a thing until I was in France, and it's really fucking good. I digress. One day,
That just ruined whiskey.
It was really good. I'm telling you. Don't roll your eyes, you old fucking. You stuck in your ways, man.
Because the ways are
Where
good.
was I? Yes. I'm home alone.
Hot whiskey, France.
This was years ago. I'm not sick, but I am just fucking congested to hell. And I look up strongest sinus healers or strongest, allergy clearers.
Yeah.
There's nose spray. One specific nose spray that you can get over the counter that people are like, dude, it's one of those. You remember when Jacked came out evil and it's like, dude, this is gonna go off the market soon because it should not be legal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, the days. I miss those days.
Yes.
I used to whisper to
Yeah,
my
me
little
too.
container of Jacked by the power of Grayskull before I, because that stuff
Yeah.
was so
and then
fucking
I would
good.
run 6-minute flat miles for 15 miles. It was great.
For Rachel, Jacked was basically a pre-workout that was essentially
Crack.
meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
There was a lot, early 2000s, there was a lot of
Yeah.
meth and amphetamines on the market.
And I was in the middle
What a
of
time.
I was doing the big popular video workout at the time with a guy from Beachbody. 90X.
Is it Beachbody?
90X.
P90X.
P90X.
Yeah.
I was fucking jacked. It was the 1 year in my life that I actually had real muscles. It was a great time. I blame it on
year.
jacked. Anyway,
That stuff is so good. It's back out, by the way.
are you serious?
Is it?
Yeah, they
Well,
Is it the same composition, though?
This is totally derailing his story, but we'll get back to it.
That's why we're here.
It's important. This is important.
Here's the thing with we just
It actually is because I just bought weights because I'm trying to. I'm lifting. Like I just bought like dumbbells
you look
and stuff.
slim.
Oh, I'm back in it. I'm back to trying again. So
back to
You look great.
again.
Is it jacked with a 3?
Yes. That stuff
okay.
is
I can smell
the
it.
new formula. The new formula is so what they do
Really?
is there's always like a compound. The pre-workout it's a fucking scam. It's like mostly stuff that makes your skin tingle and increases some blood flow. A shitload of caffeine. And then maybe with the really good ones, they'll find something that skirts around that's very chemically similar to stuff that's banned.
Yeah.
And so in Jacked, it was, I can't remember the name of it, DMAA or something. Dimethyl
MDMA.
Yeah, basically. So what like clever chemists do is they find some version of that which just has like a little flipped, like a molecule flipped very similar molecularly and does basically the same thing, but it's not on the radar yet. And then they reformulate and push it out, sell a bunch till that gets banned.
And then
rinse,
they
repeat.
And
so it was DMAA.
Yeah, DMA, dimethylamylamine.
And now Jacked is back out. Like they reconfigured it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it works.
Okay, so I need to get some.
It's the same, just less illegal. Okay.
So I've got really bad
That's
allergies this weekend, and I'm home alone, and I'm trying to get shit done. So I'm like, I can't afford to like be shitty this weekend. Like I don't want to just sit. This was back in the day where I was young enough to where like the thought of just sitting on my couch all day sounded like a fucking nightmare. I didn't want to do it. So I go and I get this over-counter spray, and it has a very, very strong lavender scent or whatever. I didn't realize it until probably 2 days later, but that stuff fucking methed me out for like 24 hours. It took me like I was like at home drinking a beer and I did it and I was like, oh, okay, my sinuses feel great. And all of a sudden, like 10 hours later, I am cleaning like a fucking meth addict. I've got problems. I'm looking at like rubber shit around my house and being like, I kind of want to chew on that. I was fucking high.
Oh my God.
No, I'm serious. And I looked it up a day later when I came out of it and I hadn't slept for like 2 days.
2 days.
I look online and dude, if you want to get fucking high, go do this nasal spray. But I got really, really sick off of it. And now I fucking hate the smell of lavender.
Oh, that was a long story to tell me you don't like lavender anymore. I like the story.
In my defense, 90% of the story was Evils talking about Jack.
That's true.
What am I drinking? I've got so many drinks. I've got coffee in my
just coffee coffee.
In my false advertising mug.
Yeah.
I've got water.
Dad.
Yep. I've got something to make all my enemies envy me. And then I've got
Hennessy. Just
some Corona. I was trying to go something I could drink a lot of because I know that I'm just going to be drinking a lot. And
that's fair.
It's just some Corona. So I have a bottle opener on my keychain. And I've had it, like since I was fucking 22 or something like that. I was staring at it. You know how they'll show the weapons of famous knights back in the day and they practice so much that their knives, their swords are like worn down? Or like Tiger Woods pitching wedge, he'll show it and he practices so much that it's like this big now. That's my bottle opener. My bottle opener.
It's so used.
Where's it from? Is there like a design on it? It looks a lot like one that I had on my
So I'm actually really sad about, it was probably like 5 or 10 years ago. It's just a real basic one, but it had a picture of an old like 50s really cool car on it. It looked like it was from the 20s.
A 50s car from the 20s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Idiot.
Math.
Okay, fair. I knew it.
I'll kick this off. No, you know what I'll kick this off with? We haven't even taken a break because there's no outline. I don't know what we're doing. Everybody, as in Rachel and Evil, 200 episodes, it's a big deal.
It's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot of episodes.
So I think what we got to do is we got to take if you don't have something to shoot, that's fine. But you at least have to take a drink and cheers. He does. Wait, what is that?
Me?
Yeah.
It's just Green Spot. I got the coffee.
A little extra. Is that your favorite Irish whiskey?
No, Redbreast.
Redbreast? 12?
I really like Green Spot, but you know what I really like? The Lustau. It's an expression, if you will. That one's really good too. But the 12's great. 15's great. I almost bought a Pedro Jimenez version of Redbreast, but it was like $100.
Sounds like you bought a relief pitcher from Puerto Rico.
It's a type of sherry.
200 episodes, guys.
Yep.
200 consecutive weeks. It's a big deal. Most other podcasts I talk to think that that's fucking insane when you're not actually one of the real ones. So here's to 200 episodes of fake
paid?
podcasting.
Fake podcasting? Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. I think this is like my fourth drink of Hennessy already today. And it is 9:05 a.m.
I'm
for
getting
me.
real tough. I don't know if you saw my
little
face.
You
Walk
didn't almost
back.
throw up. That was not a huge grain. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I'm walking back.
All right.
My favorite. Green Spot's really good.
Oh, green. I mean, it's fucking amazing.
I think it's
It's
more
so
of a
good.
what am I in the mood for? I would probably choose Redbreast most of the time, but Green Spot's, it's a little more gritty. I don't know. It's more interesting.
I've had Green Spot way more than I've had Redbreast.
They're both really fucking good.
I don't know if you guys want to, if we want to make some bets here.
Yeah.
Or do some sort of wagering program, but I do have one stat. So I had to do some homework. It's me. Come on. I do have one stat that I think we should make bets
Okay.
on. How frisky are you guys feeling this morning? Should we keep it simple? Should we just fucking
Let's
go
get
for
lit.
it? The question is going to be, I'm gonna save the question because I don't want either of you to fucking cheat, and Rachel will. She's proven it time and time again on this podcast that she is down with cheating.
Yes.
I've got a question I'm going to ask you guys. If you're within 5, I will take a shot. If you are not, you have to take a shot. And let's see. Let me ask you the question. Which one of you has done more episodes?
I knew that was going to be the question.
Oh.
And you're already looking it up, Trent. The
There's
beauty
no
of
way
this,
I could-
Rachel, is I'm not giving you enough time to count it.
I couldn't count it in time. I'm going to just say Evil because he started a couple episodes before me, even though he only did.
He did start a couple episodes before you, but keep in mind that your mutant power is that you will say yes to anything.
That's true.
That's what she said.
That's how I got pregnant.
Yes, is what she said.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sticking with Evil.
That is a difficult one.
That's what she
You're
said.
both wrong. The answer is me.
Well, duh, you idiot.
JK
Not-
girl.
not
JK girl.
Svend.
That guy
not-
sucks.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
What's funny is I think at the end of the last season, he was actually still
Yeah,
pretty close to
yeah.
you guys.
Really?
I kind of underestimated because he
Yeah.
did
Right.
every episode with me
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Turns out that's a lot.
Yeah.
Evil, what do you think? You or her?
Oh, I'm trying to think of types of episodes that we do. Are there more of certain types?
I will
No.
say we've done really good at splitting up. Rachel and I have the here's where you're wrongs.
Yeah.
You and I have the year dissections.
Yeah.
But we've also skipped here's where you're wrongs, and she has done one of the year dissections with me. So it's kind of
And then I've been on
and
an
then as far as
interview.
so is Evil.
Close.
I will
isn't it?
say this: it's fucking close. It is.
And you're a good dad, so you try and keep it balanced.
yeah. It's shockingly close. And in fact, I had to.
How many-
I had to recount it. It was so close.
How many in a difference is it? How many episodes different?
I guess that won't change.
Not gonna change that.
The difference of episodes is 3.
Wow.
Whoa.
First
So
time I
it's a
counted it was
coin flip
1,
then.
and it is a
then
coin
you
flip.
recount it.
Totally.
I'm going to say Rachel just because I completely tapped out of the Rolling Stone stuff really early. And I know that's not counting towards.
No, you do give up easier than Rachel does. It's true.
I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this.
I don't know if it's giving up or if it's seeing the writing on the wall way before we do.
Not me.
I tried one and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do this. But I really like that album.
Which one did you do?
It was Suicide.
Oh God, that's a good album. It is.
That was in a movie recently that I saw.
As far as the videos, I hope that we get to an audience to where we can do them again, because I loved doing those and editing those so much. I loved it. I was really bummed that those didn't work, but hey, it's all right.
Just
Might
not
need a
pretty
different
enough.
approach.
I'm not pretty enough. The follow-up question, though, is guess how many episodes you've done
Out of 200,
out of 200.
we both came in halfway through the first season. So that takes out like 20 something.
I shouldn't be helping you.
That's 5 times 4. That's 20 episodes.
60,
But we were in a couple of those episodes. You think 60 out of 200 you were in?
which is a little less than a third. I always feel like I'm on about 1/3 or maybe a little bit less, which is
Same.
60.
I'm going to go with 60 out of 200. I'm going to say 103 out of... Is that too high? That's too high.
It's like over
Six-
half.
I mean, it's
That
not
is over half. I'm not great at math.
Math.
Calm down.
it's not a bad guess.
30, 60.
It's a terrible guess. Come on.
I'm going to say 70. I'll kill you. I'm going to say 73.
All right, so the final answers are what, 60 and 73?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sure?
I'm
Yep.
sure.
Okay, so this is hilarious.
Is it reversed?
You both owe a bunch of drinks. You think very little of
Oh.
yourselves. Rachel, you were
Was it 100 and something?
you were one off. You've been in 104 episodes.
Damn it!
Evil, you've been in 107.
No
I
way.
win!
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
No, you guys are
I've done this
underestimating yourselves.
107 times.
I try to work to make sure you're not in half the episodes, and it's kind of worked out. But you're also having to remember that finales, you're in all the finales, you're in all the pre-finale episodes, you're in all the
But also
the
we're
beginning
together.
episodes.
Yeah,
You're in
we're
all the 10 out of
together
10s.
episodes.
I think I was just thinking of
Holy
episodes that didn't involve evil. Like
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking like
Right. I was doing the same thing.
Evil has been the only differences are Evil has been a part of one more interview than you have, and he started like 4 episodes earlier than you did.
yeah.
That's it.
God dang.
That's
Damn.
crazy, right? 107 and
That's
104.
crazy. I should have sticked with my
You
100.
gotta trust yourself.
Idiot. I let evil.
So what I should have said is for every 10 you were off, you owe a shot. So you guys owe like 6 shots.
I'll take my
That's
first guess, which was
insane.
100, which is good.
No, that's a lot.
And also, like, many of the recording sessions turn into multiple episodes.
Yes. And I did
Also
count.
true.
I counted parts and and the preseason episodes and all.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
So-
it. Yeah, I didn't think about that because we all did like those fucking stupid episodes.
I love the preseason
You're gonna have
ones.
to edit that out.
I think those are fun.
I'm only making you guys do 3 of them this year, this next year. So that's nice of me.
Are they
Can we start
different or
now?
are they the same? Are we doing Christmas music this year?
I really,
Yes, we are doing Christmas music.
I don't care anymore. You can do it. I don't give it. Like I don't remember season 5 is I don't give a fuck season for me.
Oh, I'm so excited about that.
I'm gonna do one of my own, and then we'll do I liked doing the evil Spotify Evil Awards. I like doing that, so we're gonna do that again.
Those were kind of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
those actually.
And then we'll still end it with like, what are you listening to when you don't have to listen to anything, which doesn't really happen, but that's about it. Do you guys know what the very first episode was about? Do not cheat.
The very first one.
Oh, it's so bad. I don't remember.
That's not that bad. You guys weren't part of it yet.
Just kidding.
Like
I know.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you meant our
No, like
very first
episode
episodes
1 of Verse
or the
Course
very-
Verse, Svend and I.
No, I don't.
You guys
Did do
have
an album
a
exchange?
massive hint.
What's the hint?
I don't know, but you have one.
Was it not
You
structured?
guys are fucking
Is
idiots.
that the hint?
The episode 1 was about
You're an idiot.
Kid A by Radiohead and Talking Book by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, that's right.
For those of you listening at home, I have them behind my face balls.
To be fair, you're a little pixelated.
Yeah, you are.
But
a little
also-
pixelated for me.
That's because your guys' Wi-Fi is terrible. Mine's amazing.
Whatever. Evil looks like an angel.
Actually-
and you look like
You know what's funny is Evil looks great to me and you look terrible. I wonder if it's a...
rude.
No, like blurry. I wonder if it's a Riverside thing. If it like picks...
Like it picks one
Riverside-
to look shitty.
Projects into
Our thoughts
our
of
heads
how we
up
view people.
displays of each other through the actual reality of things. This is
Yeah.
just what it is.
You find Rachel blurry.
Oh, that makes sense.
Recently, I've had 2 days in the last, let's say, 2.5 months where I just haven't been able to do work because some fucking idiots, like, they're doing power line upgrades on the main road outside
Oh,
of
they,
my
like, cut
subdivision.
your-
And, yep. They cut through a bunch of shit Yeah, they cut through the fiber, they cut through power, they cut through like a bunch of stuff because it's like third-party contractors working for the county, whoever's like organizing the stuff. And I remember there were like 15 work trucks, so like CenturyLink and then like Idaho Power, and there's a whole bunch of trucks out there. It was a
Well, I feel like nowadays with people working remotely, that's worse than like your fucking power being out.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't work, guys. And so where I live, Verizon, for whatever reason, which is what I have for my personal cell provider, it's not very good right where I'm at. Everywhere else in Boise, it's great. AT&T is pretty good. I had a work phone plan with AT&T, so I just turned that on as a hotspot, but they shut that off like at the first of the year. And so I know.
Your work did?
And then pay a stipend for my personal phone. They're like, let's save costs, you know?
Sure.
So my hotspot doesn't work. So I just sit here and twiddle my thumbs when that happens. I'm just like, sorry, guys, I can't work.
Sorry.
Yeah. My whole point of that is when they repaired it, maybe they fixed some internet stuff here because it's...
You're kicking butt and
They made it
taking
better.
names.
I was considering getting something like a second internet provider out here just for the podcast.
Well, for God's sakes, don't do that. Wait for a couple of years when we're making
We are a sinking
tons of
ship.
money. Yeah. We should probably talk about music a little bit, right?
I like music. Do you guys like music?
I like it.
It's fine.
What's a good bar question? Can you think off the top of your head of a favorite like album or band or song or something that you found because of the pod?
Ooh, I was just thinking about Ren the other day, actually, because I heard some good British rap, and I was thinking about him again. Just fucking amazing. That's probably like my most grateful accidentally stumbling on something, as opposed to
Ren?
like introduced. Yeah,
Really?
Remember Ren?
yeah. I was amazed by that album.
Idiot.
I love that album. Old person joke.
Yeah. I think it was actually Svend that showed me him way before his album came out. He had a video, and I liked that song way more than anything else on his album. But it's
Was it the?
It's one where
it's in like the warehouse.
no, he's like wheeled into a
Okay.
room and he's in like a hospital gown and he looks like he's sedated and then he starts playing his classical acoustic guitar. I think it's called like High Ren. That surprises me.
Yeah.
What about when I showed you Billy Talent that nobody had ever showed you before?
Nobody, I'd never heard of Billy Talent, and I listened to it and I was like, this is amazing. How has no one in my life ever talked about this man?
I was watching
like, this project is so amazing.
my daughter's big show that she likes us to watch now is Modern Family, and there's an episode where where the dad
the Cobb salad.
the wedge salad, and she flips out.
Wedge salad,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's Trevor and Rachel. Woohoo!
I have a few. I've always been a Jeff Beck fan, but just like kind of on the periphery. But when we dove in and I found Beck Ola, oh my God, it's so good.
It really is.
Such a good album. Oh my God, it's so good. That was like, like it blew my mind. I'm like, this is amazing. The one that like most recently that catches my thoughts
Donda?
is Underscores. Love Underscores.
Oh yeah.
Donda, yeah. Yeah, Wall Socket, which it was like Wall Socket.
They have a new
Director's
album
Cut.
coming out or something. You told me they have something new coming out.
It's the last year's album with some new tracks, and I think it's called the Director's Cut. It's Wall Socket Director's Cut. So
It's
that's
like a
cool.
remix.
Yeah.
It's rare, but
Yeah.
there are remix albums that are. It's rare, but sometimes the remix albums are better.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just thinking about one the other day that I don't think I can. It's 94 related. I think we're gonna talk about it soon on what's it? Massive Attack? Yes.
Interesting.
So spoilers, that's coming up. Massive Attack Protection is not going to be on my Q3 1994 list because No Protection that came out the
so
next
much
year
better.
is way better.
Yeah.
It's like when Linkin Park did when they remixed Reanimated.
Yeah.
Reanimator. That was so much better than anything else that they
Yeah.
had done. It's like, why don't you just be this? Be this. Your band should be fucking this. I have a growing collection of CDs.
Oh.
I don't have a CD player yet.
Oh, you're like me last year about this time with records.
with vinyl.
Yeah.
Not to, brag, but I get them all sent to me.
Oh,
Really?
I'm like,
so fancy.
I don't have shit to listen to it on, so I got to buy a CD player.
It's not like it's
I need to.
ancient
That'll
technology.
that'll be my
It's not like it's
Christmas
8-track.
present this year.
I just went to Goodwill and got one for the kid because I got him a VeggieTales CD to listen to.
That's cute.
Still on the VeggieTales.
Still on the VeggieTales, but I just got him a CD
We need
player
to
at
have
the-
him on the pod and show him some music.
He's the
Teach him
worst.
the ways.
We were not too long ago playing in the living room, and I had some Blackpink playing, and he started singing along, and I was like, I've played
Were
this
they
too
in
much.
your area?
They were in my area.
Funny.
I mean, that seems like a fairly. Are their lyrics fucking?
I mean, they're not complex. They're pretty easy to learn because it's like half in English, half in Korean. So everything in English you just remember.
That sounds extremely complex to me.
Well, if you're trying to get just the English,
I barely know English, let alone
That's
any
true.
Korean whatsoever.
Wait, hold on.
Maybe I'll- no,
We didn't. No,
I'll save it.
You didn't. Never mind.
were you gonna ask him
I
how many
didn't tell you
episodes?
how many
he's-
episodes I've done.
No, you did the
I'm
math. I was
guessing
gonna say-
200. If I'm right, David has to take a
You
shot.
asked
my
us.
guess.
You asked us like what we found, and then I'm like, "What did you find?" And then the massive attack.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Maybe
true.
that was your answer.
yeah.
but
Well, that's what I was just talking about remixes. But
What have you
I will say
discovered?
that I didn't. It's all the time with the pod. That's why I love doing it. It's all the time. Even right, like I'm looking
Yeah.
at Talking Book with Stevie Wonder. That's the thing about doing the pod is I had always had, and this happens every time we do a band dissection, every time we do a 10 out of 10, is I always just thought, okay, I have Stevie Wonder. I like Stevie Wonder. This is his best album. There's this. And then we cover him and I'm like, oh, I actually
Oh, wait.
like Talking Book
Yeah.
10 times more than Songs in the Key of Life because it's got this and it's raw and it's this and it's this. And then I end up realizing that I like Stevie Wonder 10 times more than I thought I did. I mean, that happens like every fucking 5
Yeah.
episodes.
yeah,
This podcast taught me that System of a Down is probably one of my top 5 bands of all time. I always loved them, but I didn't realize until we all talked about them. And then going back and listening to us talk about them, holy fuck, we love that band.
Yeah.
A lot. Back when we were doing only audio, which we're back to. Congratulations,
Yay.
everybody. Which honestly, we're better. We're just better on audio. When I was editing our first one after quitting video, I was like, this is better. It's just
Yeah.
fucking better. And I think it's just because we don't have the 4-camera in-person setup that you have to have for like a
Yeah.
intimate bullshitting, it's impossible to make a remote podcast look like you're not watching a Zoom call.
Yeah.
right. It's like a work meeting.
Yeah. It's exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about pain points and what are the KPIs for
Nerd.
That's my life.
know.
Like my entire company's remote. And I'm just like, meetings are the worst.
Should we talk about equality versus equity evil? Right.
Spits
Let
out
me
coffee.
tell you something. I have some thoughts. No, let's not. do
No,
that.
let's not do that.
I don't want to get canceled till I'm at least 50.
That's so soon.
Hey, you're canceled right now for that.
Yeah. When do you
I'm
when
an
do you
ageist.
turn 50?
Harsh.
You've got like a
couple
few
years.
years, right?
2. Like I
No.
turned 48 in shortly.
Now that tracks. When's your birthday?
Yeah, September 10th.
Wow.
Eve of 9/11.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
a good
I
way to
always
remember.
forget it.
That was good. That was
You're
very
an
good.
idiot. You're an idiot.
Because of the terror, it reminds me of that terrible tragedy.
We should just fully embrace our inner Norm Macdonald's
I
moving forward.
I honestly don't know if I don't think that I'm good enough to be Norm Macdonald. I don't think any of
You're
us
not.
are really.
None of us are.
And you're right. Anyone who says that is right.
Yeah.
All men out there just trying to be Norm Macdonald, right? That's basically all.
Yeah, whether they know it
Yeah.
or not. Yeah.
Yeah. How that is okay. How about I want to ask you a question, Rachel.
Yeah.
I've had like 3 shots of Hennessy. I'm halfway through
Love
a
it.
Corona. I'm on my second coffee.
Where's this going?
I want to know if you actually I should probably wait till you're drunk, not me. I want to know if you really, really honestly like the new Taylor Swift, or if it's just you just have to like it. It's just what you were born and bred to do.
That's an amazing question, David. I do. And I will stick with my opinion from last episode when we were not last episode, when we were talking about
The
this last
quickfires.
Quickfires, where
That might have been the last episode that we recorded together.
who knows?
No,
I've
nobody
been drinking
does.
and
God bless you.
that album just needs a lot of editing. There's songs that should be vault songs. There's
think?
songs that should be not, that are fine.
But doesn't that make it bad?
It just needs editing. If Donda had like a good song or two, I would say it needed.
I'm gonna edit in right now because you've said this many times before and then said the album was shit because of the edit.
Okay,
so
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna edit that in.
Fine.
I'm not.
I don't care.
I'm lazy. I'm too lazy.
No, because there's some really good stuff on there that I really enjoy. But there's also some subpar stuff where I'm just like, this is fine. This sounds like you were just like messing around in the studio, and maybe just take it out and don't show people anymore. A lot of albums that we've gone over could have been a 10 out of 10 if they had just been edited a little bit.
Like Lizzo. You know what you know what, Rachel, and I don't even know if you knew this.
Evil's dead. Evil died. He's fallen over. He's gone.
Oh, and you're 3 out of 4 of them. Sorry, that was a joke for DL, and only he knows it.
I like that my health is officially deteriorated to where if I'm going to laugh hard, it just turns into a coughing fit. That's officially my health now. I've got 5 more years on this earth, you guys. I hope you all enjoy it.
We really need to get famous fast.
Rachel and I have an episode coming up. It's a Here's Where You're Wrong, which I think it's just going to be more of a conversation, but who knows? We might disagree a lot on certain things. But I want to hear Evil's take right off the dome. The theme of the episode is what is punk.
Ooh.
I would think with somebody that is such a metalhead, because metal is such a close relative of punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that it's
very different.
It's a genre where
But similar.
everybody is super protective of it and judgmental and fuck you, you're not punk, and Green Day and The Clash, and
I think at its root, punk equals rebellion.
Yeah.
That's at its root.
That's a great answer.
Because in its inception, it was like, we're playing 3 fucking chords loud, rebelling against like corporate rock.
Yeah.
But the essence of it is just young rebellion.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you can be an old punk. Sorry, old punks. It's fucking hard. It's like youthful rebellion. It's that, what's the...
You know where old punk works? Where they have something to fight against.
Home Depot?
In punk. And at Home Depot. one of the things that got really big in the 80s were the more Evil killed himself. The more intelligent, because in the 80s, well, maybe we should save this for that episode, but I like the conversation.
Let's set it up.
Essentially,
I'm
in
curious.
the 80s, like neo-Nazis tried to take over punk. And all these old, intelligent guys in punk bands like fucking Black Flag or Bad Religion were like,
Yeah.
okay,
No.
now we have to be anti-Nazi punk bands. And that, to me, like when they have something that honestly fighting against, not just, hey, damn the man, but like an actual thing that they're fucking pissed off about, I feel like that's the only time it would work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, if you're an old dude, I feel like maybe punk doesn't sound like punk. Maybe Neil Young is kind of punky in some ways. Nah, he just sings about his dad. I recorded an episode already that hasn't aired yet, but it's about those black metal murders.
Oh.
And what I say is basically that all metal is a genre of kids that want to scare the shit out of old people. That's what the genre
That's a great answer.
is. And punk is pretty similar.
Yeah, one of the things that separates metal from punk for me, and this is just one of the things,
Is spikes and leather and chains and devil.
No, it is progression. Metal is continually play harder, faster, more complex. It's like pushing the bounds of instrumentation.
Certain metal. Yes. Certain
yeah.
genres. Yeah.
But also in terms of like production, like some metal, they like push the sound. It's like trying to stretch the boundaries of things. Punk's not about stretching boundaries. It's about rebellion at its core. Metal is more like exploring new things
And worshiping Satan.
Also
and
true.
burning churches. Yeah.
And burning churches. And it really depends. To me, it depends on the genre. Well, just like punk, it depends on the genre. It depends on what you're doing. You got the fucking idiots that are using it to do stupid shit. Like a big part of the black metal scene back then was hating Jews and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then you've got metal bands like Dream Theater that are literally just about how good of musicians can we be while also playing super fucking heavy and fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the good part of metal.
There's like a value of like virtuosity in metal that punk doesn't have.
To be in most metal genres, you have to be an amazing fucking musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be a mediocre guitarist or drummer and be in a fucking metal band. It's not going to work.
No, not anymore.
In punk, it kind of helps you to be a shitty musician.
Yeah.
You disagree.
Punk is attitude.
Fucking speak up, bro. Have a shot and talk.
I feel like here's the thing, David. First of all,
Thing.
we're going to be talking about this later, but you're wrong. But
Yeah, my
not
bad,
entirely. I think you can get away with being a less good musician. Sorry, alcohol.
Oh, you are drunk. Good job.
A little bit.
What do you mean musician? She makes music.
You could be.
Not a musician.
But my brain shut off. I don't remember the rest of that thought.
You mean musician like make magic? What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I do. The greatest interview I've ever seen in my life.
So I'm a musician. What the that mean? Make magic or something? What is musician?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I make music, okay?
Think. What
Have
is
you seen that
I don't
interview,
think.
Rachel?
I
Oh
know.
my God.
What are we talking about?
So good. We'll send it to you.
Okay.
Ooh, Orville Peck just started playing in my ears, so I'm happy. Oh, there's somebody I found thanks to the fucking pod.
That's a good one.
Fucking
100%.
amazing.
Yeah.
Actually,
God, Orville Peck.
who's the other guy I like with the country music?
Orville.
That was a piece of shit.
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
The chicks fucking love Zach Bryan.
He's so talented.
Denise, like my work bestie.
I love Denise.
Obsessed with Zach Bryan. She's seeing him this weekend.
I like her even more now.
My son likes Zach Bryan, actually. Well, because Amanda.
I like him even more now.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's so cute.
You know what else we're going to talk about this year? You know who died in 1994?
Shifty Shell Shock. I'm so sorry.
I have no idea.
What did you say?
What? Me?
What did you say?
Shifty Shell Shock.
Shifty Shell Shock. the Ninja Turtle finishing move.
Yeah. What is that band?
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
No.
The Ninja Turtle song.
What? No, I'm talking about Shifty
Go
Shell
white
Shock.
boy, go white boy, go.
No. The Butterfly. You're my butterfly.
Sugar, baby.
Yeah, that guy died.
Did he die in 94? He was still
He
alive.
died
Yeah, he did.
in 94. He died this year.
He died a couple weeks ago, yeah.
I remember seeing an interview with Sharon Osbourne talking about that band and how bad she felt for them because they were actually a really good nu metal band, but they came out with that song, and that's all that anybody fucking
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
she was like, "Yeah, they were
extreme with
done."
more than words. Like, play the fucking slow song that the chicks like.
That's exactly what it is. Fucking idiots.
Oh, you dumb bastards for writing a good song.
We're gonna talk about. Actually, Sven's gonna join us too, but we're gonna talk
love
about
Sven.
Nirvana
I like that guy.
Unplugged and Kurt Cobain's death. Because 1994, you can't cover 94 and not talk about those.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
A little bit. Ooh, I should go full conspiracy theory there.
I remember Kurt Cobain dying and being upset, but I was
Yeah.
so young. Rachel was even younger. What Evil? You were
of age.
of age to give a shit.
I remember getting on the bus after a track meet and everyone just being somber. I'm like, what happened? They're like, Kurt Cobain died. I remember that moment. Like, and me
Really?
being like, what?
Were you into were you into the Nirvana stuff enough to? You don't seem like the type of guy that even at that age would have been like fucking brokenhearted over Nirvana ending.
I think because it was such a cultural phenomenon, it was just so surreal.
Yeah.
I didn't feel,
Yeah.
I didn't fucking break down and sob over Kurt Cobain dying, but it was like, whoa, one of those. Okay, this is going to get a little deep.
That's what she said.
Because, shot himself with a
did say
shotgun, blew his head off. When I was in high school as a freshman, there was, I won't use names, but there was a girl in our high school who got pregnant and kind of freaked out over it and had a fight with her boyfriend and shot herself in her parents' bedroom.
Yikes.
With a shotgun.
Jesus Christ.
Like, we had a small school. Like, Middleton was a small school.
Yeah.
Like
everybody knows each other.
Tops.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, I knew her. I knew her brother very well, who was like a senior. She was maybe a sophomore, so she was like a year. It fucking leveled the community. Like, to the point that, like, they just cancel school. They're like, go find a room where people are who you like and just be with them.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone just being like, what the fuck? Like, that was like my first experience with mortality being something that is a possibility for kids. Or people you know, because I'd had well, that's not true. That's a whole fucking different story. Oh my God. Therapy session. So I have a brother and sister who are respectively 7.5, 10.5 years older than me. We have had a group of like second, third cousins, family, very similarly aged, girl the oldest, boy, who were about the same age as all of us, who all died within like a 2.5, 3 year period.
God damn.
So that was fucking really weird. But this was like my people. Like when this girl did her thing, and it was like, it was suicide. It was like mental health and real life. And fast forward 3 years, Cobain dying in a very similar way. It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was like the air was thick. Everyone else went through that other experience. Then this happened, and it was like it scaled it up to the real world. You know, it was fucking bizarre. It was bizarre. So no, personally, I wasn't like, oh my God, Kurt Cobain died, sob. But it was just fucking bizarre. It was a smack in the face.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a different
for a young kid.
But at the same time, and we've talked about this, especially when we talked about Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. We grew up in an age where the musicians you could see it coming. It wasn't like fucking, and maybe that makes it, I don't want to say less of a tragedy, but okay.
Less
so
of a
like
surprise.
when Lennon died, when Lennon was assassinated,
That was huge.
And he's this guy that's singing, Imagine, and he's singing about peace, and he's singing about like our generation's heroes were singing about fucking heroin addiction and being lost in a sea of 90s
down in a hole
political ambiguity. Yes. Yeah. And fucking these weird things that we hear about, but we don't really, like things like Desert Storm get brushed off like this easy thing, but it was actually it was a big deal because it was, since Vietnam, it was the first time that there was this duality of kind of what are we really doing? And that's just one example of all the stuff that was going on that fucking pissed the youth off, which the youth will always find an excuse to be pissed off, but it was just a different feel. Kurt Cobain dying wasn't it was tragic, but it was, the dude was singing about pain, addicted to heroin, which is what we were kind of, how do I word it? We wanted the art that brought. We kind of needed it. I remember back then it not phasing me as bad because I had thought he had died like 2 times before because there wasn't like Google and shit back then. It was like, hey, did you hear that Kurt Cobain died? Yeah. And then a day later, you're like, oh, that's not fucking.
He OD'd on heroin.
A
couple of weeks before or whatever.
And then 2 days later, you find out like, oh, he's not dead. Somebody just said MTV just said he was, you know what I mean? What a fucking weird time, dude.
Kurt Loder comes on like breaking news, and we live in a very different era now where information or disinformation is like traveling to you at the speed of light instead of like you're waiting for MTV news
fake
to
news
come on and Kurt Loder to tell us what's going
Hate you.
I'm gonna go get another drink. Let's see, we're hour 10 in. Yeah. We should probably put another hour in and we'll be good.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll make
Let's
this
talk
a
about
half
David.
a day pod.
back.
Hey. So good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why we hate David.
Beginning. So far back.
So me and David met when I was like 15.
What?
So it's been a while.
You hate him way more than I do then.
I do. Yeah. He was actually like insanely nice to me in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Because I was not very cool.
You may have.
Just
as fast as we can.
We're talking about the genesis of our relationships with you.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colorado house?
Yeah.
Yes. Castle Grayskull, as it
That's
were.
a nice house.
This is like, there's a lot of overlap with the crew who's putting together the co-op studio stuff right now.
Uh-huh.
That lived in a house east of Cuna, south of where I am right now. That was the exact same floor plan as Colorado house. And
Really?
they were, his was Castle Grayskull and theirs was Snake Mountain. At about the same time frame.
Fucking nerds.
Nerds.
Yeah, well done. Evil's gonna start making shitty movies, or
Yay!
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean,
Very
I'm not going to
excited.
be making shit. I'm going to be running like the technology and doing support.
you're gonna be
stuff.
websiting.
I'll be like information, like the CIO type stuff, like figuring out how everyone communicates together. And
This is why we never get anything done.
you don't know nearly as much about this as he does. There's a group of people coming together trying to create a film industry in Idaho, and they're all from Idaho.
Right.
A lot of them have gone and worked in the industry in like Hollywood and whatnot, but they're like, we want to make films in our home state, but it's not super conducive to it because of a number of reasons. And so we're
You told
trying
me
to
about
make
this
that
at some
happen.
point. I want to say it was the airport,
Yeah.
maybe, because I don't remember
Yeah.
David being there.
We
Anyway,
did
it's
talk about it
That's awesome.
Progressing.
because I don't have a photographic memory, but I have a weird memory where I know where I was when I heard something.
Same.
I remember we were all
Yeah.
we were all talking about the actor that plays Aaron, Aaron Paul
Yeah.
being from Idaho. We were
Yeah.
talking about it while we were right by the Egyptian theater.
Yeah, because he had a showing there.
Oh yeah. It would be nice to loop him into things too.
Right? Then you could maybe bring a tequila company in, and that's all you need. You get some booze on your side,
Right.
and you're
I don't know if anyone in the crew has like direct relations with him, like a direct connection to him yet.
I feel like somebody that
Black
big,
Horse.
if they find out that like, hey, we're trying
Yeah.
to start up something in Idaho,
In your hometown.
I feel like people that big would be like, fuck yeah, I wouldn't want to help that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck else is he gonna do?
I know Black Horse, who's he's not besties, but really close with,
Oh,
which would be
that
helpful.
would be very helpful.
I have an odd relationship with that guy.
Oh, go on.
Well, just like I'll absolutely love one thing he does and then fucking hate the next thing that
What
he
do you
does.
hate?
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
good. He did a Marvel movie that was fucking terrible.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's Marvel. He did Marvel. He did a Marvel movie.
I mean, they're all the same.
But hey, you gotta get that money, get that paper.
Imagine a sandwich. Wouldn't it taste so much better if you knew no one had fucked it? It's one of my favorite lines
Yeah.
in anything ever, talking about vampires wanting virgin blood.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
I never really liked the Flight of the Conchords, but I love that show. I love that show.
I like the humor. I didn't like its application in Flight of the. It's fine. Flight of the Conchords is fine, but it's not like What We Do in the Shadows is amazing.
Yeah,
The
it's
movie.
fantastic.
The thing about Megan and I is we have to find something within our Venn diagram overlap that we both like.
Yeah.
And then also, it's really subject to timing as well. Because, I mean, doing what she does, working for a large healthcare system, like sometimes she needs lightness
Yeah.
when she comes home instead of more darkness. And so, like,
Yeah.
we watched the first season of Ozark.
Ted Lasso instead of Ozark. Or
Yes.
yeah, like something like, yeah.
We loved Ozark, but after we watched the first season, we finished it, and this was like right in the midst of the first part of COVID. And she's like, that was so good. I don't think I can watch any more of this.
Oh.
It's like, I need something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a, yeah.
You need
And
something
so
light.
We struggle
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
No, I very much get that. I want to talk about 10 out of 10s and how we pick what albums we talk
How
about.
do you pick?
Yeah, how I pick and how I should pick. I'll give you an example of, okay, so our next 10 out of 10 is Some Devil by Dave Matthews, which he, not in the middle of, but after, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Hey, thanks. But after he really didn't have much left to do with his own band, he came out with solo work that I think, you know, he was saying a lot of stuff. It's an emotional album. But I was trying to decide between that and Stranger Than Fiction by Bad Religion, which was literally just because it's 1994, and I want to talk Bad Religion and get your guys' takes on it. As far as 10 out of 10s, what do you guys like more? Do you like stuff that is going to challenge you and your taste and you might hate? Or do you like stuff that is literally like, this is probably one of the greatest albums?
I think I like the challenging stuff a little bit more. Like when you handed me Mesmerize, I was like, oh, fucking great. I'm gonna love this. And then I listened to it and I was like, I do love it.
Yeah.
I want something, I like the stuff that's not obvious, like it's going to be on every list of, you know, top 10 albums of all time, but is like,
yeah, it's easy to pick like
complex and good.
This year we're talking about Dave Matthews Band a lot. Svend and I are anyway.
Yeah.
And it'd be easy to just, okay, Crash, we're going to do 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, but there's something about the other albums that maybe people don't know that much about or might be shit. And you know what I mean?
And just because it's the most popular album doesn't mean it's the best album either, you know?
Exactly. Like fucking, I don't think most people, casual System of a Down fans, obviously we're going to talk about, which one is the one that the Hollywood sign one? What's that called? Is it just self-titled?
No.
Toxicity? What the fuck is it called?
Yeah, it's Toxicity.
Yeah, I've got the cover in my...
It's got to be.
Heavity? I've got the cover in my heavity. That's not a word.
What's a heavity?
It's Toxicity.
It's Toxicity.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like, that's the easy,
Which
right?
is also the single. It's confusing when...
bands do that.
So much music.
But it's more fun to do a different album.
Two things. Number one, I like having contrarian thoughts to stuff that is like objectively thought of as being great. So that's fun. When it's like, this is a 10 out of 10. Everyone says it is. I'm like, that's bullshit. Yeah, right.
Like when we did Sticky Fingers by Rolling Stones.
Oh my God.
You mean Stinky Fingers. That's a layered joke there.
No, I get it.
Well, but good. I like finding things that, two prongs segueing from that. This is 10 out of 10. Everyone thinks it is. And I'm like, is it? But when you get away from that, there's like I like advocating for stuff that I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And you are all fucking wrong because this album is so good. And then I also like finding stuff that or being challenged by something that I probably hadn't heard a lot of, or maybe something that one of you two or someone else says is a 10 out of a 10. And I'm like, is it really? And then I dig in. I'm like, well, maybe it is. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I like that. I like the novelty and the challenge and the newness. So I like all of it. I like the whole thing.
One of the many reasons I like doing the quick fires is I will have a preset thought of an album.
Yeah.
And then we go in and we talk about it. And this album that I thought was fucking shit. One of you was like, this is actually, there's really good stuff in here. Or even if you don't like it, but you're like, but this song and this song and this song, even if I have my thought about it, there will be something in my head that says, oh shit, okay, well I need to go back and listen to that. Like when the Zealand Ardor album 2 or 3 years ago, that I was just, when the first time I heard it, I was like, this fucking sucks. And then it ended up being one of your albums of the year. And I like that. Yeah. I like that is oh, well, shit. Now I have to go back and listen to it. And that's actually the perfect example. Cause then that first song kicks on. I'm like, wait, this is fucking awesome. Like, this is so good. And there were a lot of parts of that album I didn't like, but it was almost immediate. It was like, wait, holy fuck, this is actually really, really good. And I think it's good to be challenged like that.
This was fun for me, as kind of going back to similar ideas, the Alexis on Fire album that I fucking love. That when we did a quick fire, you guys are like, this is terrible.
That's what Alex is on Fire. Not Zealand Ardor. That's what I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That album is still, I fucking love it. Without any preconceptions, I just listen to it. I'm like, this is so good. Like, this is objectively good to me. I didn't have any relationship with the band prior. In fact, I'd listened to them and didn't really care for stuff before that. But that album just grabbed me. And so you guys, it made me really question. Like, I'm like, do I have terrible taste in music?
I remember
Like, what the fuck?
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
no, I fuck that. They're wrong.
We are
I'm
so
right.
influential on each other like that.
It really
kind of
we
are.
Like
That
I
was
was like,
fun.
no, 60 episodes. I don't know.
It's weird how fucking stubborn we all are, and yet how much
Yeah.
we won't admit it when we're sober, but we influence each other quite a bit.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
don't ever say it out loud because we will deny it vehemently. Rachel, what's your favorite part about the podcast?
Hanging out with you
the first
fuckers.
the first 20 minutes before you're tired and want to get off. That's what she said.
That was a good one.
Just get it over with. Come on.
I like
Are you done
Do
yet?
it better.
part that I like as much as it seems like I would hate this is studying. And that's because I have the music open, I have Wikipedia open, and I hit rabbit trail after rabbit trail after rabbit trail and just learn the most random shit about people and albums and historical instances. And so
Recording is always
Yeah.
great.
And that's why I think Svend is kind of a piece of shit.
I am such a piece of shit.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've never been happier in my life.
Surprise.
That's why
Welcome.
I just have a real problem with Svend. And that's all. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
That was a little
Wow.
aggressive.
I'm glad
but
I
it's
could
fine.
walk into that.
I should ask Svend. Svend, do you remember what our first episode was?
Stevie Wonder and Radiohead.
He's so much better at this than you.
Yeah, he is. It's because he's been on 5 episodes, and so he remembers them all very well.
And I was just talking about Talking Book to my nephew because he's really getting into some like music. I was asking for recommendations on like the best Stevie Wonder. And of course, like he's like, I've been listening to, Songs in the Key of Life. I'm like, you need to check out Talking Book. And then I was like, and if you want to know more about it, go listen to episode 1.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Plug the pod.
How are you guys?
You
my
know.
goodness.
You know. Yeah. I've had
I'm
a
so
little
happy
Hennessy.
right now.
I'm feeling okay. A little coffee.
Ah,
You know.
a little coffee.
How many?
Look at you.
Okay, so you've got
I have no Hennessy.
you've got 2 guitars, 2 basses, and a banjo behind you. Is
Banjo.
that
yeah. 2 guitars.
and a drum set? And then what's are those like all singles
5, 6. There's
in the
6.
behind your left? Are those all the singles that you've done?
Not all. Those are. They're actually. I need to update them.
I think it says a lot about
that stops in December, so none of the ones from this year are up there.
Oh,
And I've been doing 1 a month this year.
you're doing one a month?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the next one drops on the 27th, like next week.
That's
and
in
then
7 days.
August, I'm shooting for maybe August like
It is.
15th for the one after that. The next one's sappy. It's slow. I've been doing a bunch of my typical stuff, but the next one is going to be
Like what kind of
yeah.
like
I don't know.
are we talking like country-ish, Radiohead-ish? What type of slow?
It started off as so I was just in Florida.
Where in
and
Florida?
My first night there, I was in Tampa,
Oh, I love
visiting
Tampa.
some family.
Love Tampa.
And the first night there, we were on like we rented a house right on like one of the canals that comes off the Gulf, and it was the craziest thunderstorm with like that tropical rain. I don't get to see that very often, so it was like the best type of rain.
Right.
Anyway, like this song kind of came together, talking about how I don't know. I also received a really weird phone call that day, and my head was kind of in a whole bunch of places.
Look, sometimes I get drunk and I make a phone call, Svend. It's not a big deal.
So it was like this thought of like, you know what? There's going to be a rainbow at the end of the storm, but you don't get to have the rainbows without the rainstorms. And I heard this whole
Right.
country song come together in my head, but then I decided not to produce
Nice.
it as a country song. It's kind of it's weird. It's going to be a weird. I don't know how to describe it. You guys will find out. I'm really nervous about it. Like, honestly, it's completely different than anything I've ever done, and I'm scared that I already pushed the button, like the launch button. It's in queue, like in all the streaming services. So I'm super nervous. I can't like go back now. I can't unrelease it.
That's fun and exciting.
What's the
Yeah.
the Jerry Cantrell in Jerry Maguire? Do you guys know that in Jerry Maguire? So do you remember?
I just know the "Show me the money" quote.
In Jerry Maguire, when Tom Cruise you remember he does that at the very beginning when he realizes that it needs to be about it needs to be about the clients, less clients, more attention, and he does the whole diatribe on paper and he hands it all out. Well, when he's FedExing it in the Kinko's or whatever, the guy that is printing it off for him is Jerry Cantrell.
I did not know that.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. And his line in that movie, Svend, is that's how you become great, man. You just got to hang your balls out there.
Wow.
How amazing is that? Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. Cameron Crowe and him became really good friends after Singles. And so he snuck him in
sense.
Jerry Maguire.
Right on.
That's awesome.
So there you go, Svend. That's how you become great. You just got to put your balls out there.
That's how it just got him flapping in the wind.
Gross.
Svend, where's your Hennessy?
You know what I have is strawberry banana prime.
Oh, Logan. Isn't that
Just
Logan?
as poisonous.
Same
It just
thing.
matches
Grape
the color
whiskey.
scheme I have going on, I guess.
If
Stole it
you're
from my
comparing
kids.
Tupac to Logan Paul, I think a lot of people are going to be pretty pissed off right now. Isn't that his drink? Isn't that Logan Paul's drink? Or who's the other brother? Logan Paul, and Jake Paul.
Paul's, he has a different one. They have competing energy drink, whatever, electrolyte drink brands.
Hey, it's 10% coconut water.
That's it's good.
You know what? I was raiding my fridge. I found some Capri Sun, but it didn't have the straw, so I couldn't do that. And I'm like, okay, what's the next most Rachel thing I could pull out of the fridge?
Oh.
The thing
That's
is, I
fair.
don't have like leftover vodka or Malibu or something to throw in it. It's like just
Well,
You didn't have any
Prime.
Sunny D?
it is Rachel Prime.
No Sunny
Polio.
D.
Stuff.
I like it.
But
But this almost tastes like it has Malibu in it.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
get the
sounds
flavor
great.
and none of the
Those
benefits.
are the carcinogens.
Yeah. That's the sunscreen.
That's what I was going to say. It tastes like I'm drinking sunscreen. Strawberry banana. What are you guys talking about today? What did I just walk in on?
We're just whatever. We're drinking and talking
Yeah.
about the pot. Actually,
No,
This is still
outline.
a podcast, right? Like,
yeah.
ish.
it's just
Well,
like, is this
today-
a support group now? It's just like the
It's support group is exactly what it is. Actually, we
Podcast adjacent.
Yeah.
I think
Oh my goodness.
do you guys know that we're all four going to be on an episode together this year? Do you guys know that?
What?
we're
So-
all on one
Go
right
on.
now.
We're
That's
so
true. Good job.
the death of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana Unplugged.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
yeah.
We're all going to do that one together.
It says Svend ? On the outline.
I think I'm always a question mark. Like next to my name, it's
Yeah.
just permanently
Will Sven
there.
show up? Bum,
love
bum,
you.
bum.
Oh shit, he's here now.
On my birth certificate, like the doctor was like, "Are you sure?" We just put a question mark
Sven?
there, just in
Sven
case you
question
want to change it later, and it just stuck.
Where were you born?
Malaysia, Penang,
Yeah.
Malaysia, an
Yeah,
island
like
off
you
of
know.
a peninsula.
Yeah.
It says
I
so on my
know.
website. I just redid my website, so I had to like retype all this crap. And,
We've
and,
we've had the Malaysian passport conversation before.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I remember.
yeah,
Also, I've known Sven for just years, so
yeah,
it's been a while.
That's a big number. I can't count that
It's
high
an
anymore.
embarrassingly large number.
Ooh, I'm looking at your website. I like it.
Thank you.
Oh, I want to see.
It's like fresh today.
You're the second thing that comes up when I type in
Sven
K
Knutsen.
in my.
What's the first?
Because all the other ones with my name are just too lazy, I guess. They
Are
don't,
there
or they don't want anyone to find them. Who knows what
Ooh,
they're
this
up
is
to?
so pretty.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
You were a Danish football player who played in 6 matches for the Denmark football national team,
Didn't you know?
Wait,
that?
what?
according to Wikipedia. That's just according
No,
to
wait.
Wikipedia.
Is
So
that the wrong
AI generated content. This is Google's SGE
Oh gosh.
Search Labs. There are multiple matches for Sven Knutsen, including a musician and a production director.
That's you.
Svend Knutsen is a musician with 18 songs, including Fireflies in Jars, Stick Season,
a good song.
and Breathe.
I like that they're
Oh,
giving
His
me
albums
credit for Noah
include-
Kahan's song. I mean, I did
We've
a cover.
used
but-
Fireflies
This is fun.
in the pod.
Record label is 1736954 Records DK.
Oh, that's
His
changed.
music, yeah. This is AI.
Whenever
It's
it
pulling from
scraped it,
whatever.
yeah.
Let's try it.
Yep. His music is available on SoundCloud. Svend Knutsen is also the name of a production director at Cathedral of the Rockies.
That's you too.
Oh my goodness. It knows all
Do you
about
still
my
work there?
past. I don't. I haven't been there.
Yeah, it's he knows about my past.
for
He has
like
a background
over a year now.
in the event industry and has worked in operations and IT. He also works as a content creator.
Oh my goodness.
You are so important.
I am.
The AIs
I'm so
know you.
scared.
Look at that.
Everything about me, almost. At least.
Almost.
That was a very in-depth.
It was.
Google's SGE, very top of the search.
I randomly just sometimes say horrible things about Google and AI just around my phone, just to see if I can like
Just to
make it not like. Is it gonna have a
See if it'll
personality
stop
someday if it starts like
using you
not liking
in
me?
some way.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
Have you had any success with your posts and stuff on like TikTok and other venues?
TikTok is hit or miss.
Because I've noticed that when I've been able to see your posts, I've noticed that you are kind of. It looks like you've studied what you should be posting, and you are posting the right shit.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of what I do day to day for like. I sit through so many content creation things because I produce video for people that teach people to do stuff like that. And so I guess some of it I just absorb, I guess. But TikTok is weird. I'm not consistent enough to like actually get traction on the whole platform, but I've had like specific
don't post
videos
7
get
times a
like
day?
30K views and then the next video get like 7. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
it's really, I think it just depends on what people are into at the moment. And if you hit whatever people are into at the moment,
Yeah.
like the most successful people literally just like overdub their voice on someone else's thing that's already popular and it blows
Yes.
up huge, right?
It's depressing.
Yeah. Or like show something
very
really
depressing.
popular, but talk about something completely else, like voiceover.
I think it was Evil that sent me the Rick Beato rant on music in general. And then I kind of studied a little bit after that. And it's kind of scary how much music is no longer tractionable. Like people, it's not even necessarily that people don't listen to music. They don't care about it.
Right.
If you make content revolving around music, it's like one of the least followed fucking things.
Yeah.
Like people don't give a
Yikes.
fuck about music anymore.
Yeah.
Music, it's like soundtracks to stuff now.
Yeah.
Instead of, it's not about the music itself. The music is like a backing track to something else, some other piece
Yeah.
of content.
I've had some really weird experiences with that. Like, because a lot of the stuff I make is I'm trying to make it more like mainstream for use like that. Like I don't know. To me, I it's not so much about
Right.
like I need to sell people downloading my stuff, but if someone wants to like use my thing in their TikTok or in their Instagram, like I'm stoked just that it's getting heard. But I found that like
happy to
there's
be invited.
on the flip side, like if I put out something a couple months ago, I think it was in May maybe or April. It was right after Tree Fort. I hadn't worked on anything. I'd committed to doing this one song a month thing, and Tree Fort was at the end of March, and I needed something like April. I threw together a song in like an hour and had it recorded and mastered that same day. It was like no time at all. And literally it was, I'm going to make something that sounds like the White Stripes, but with like lyrics as if Kurt Cobain wrote them, like that kind of like weird, you know, how he just, some of his stuff made no sense.
Yeah.
And like no effort into it, and that song like got the most traction ever and got airplay in like Colorado Springs on the radio, and is one of like has more streams out of any other songs that I've
That's
ever tried to
awesome.
do. And it's so weird that like stuff I think is getting overproduced for mainstream is getting so drowned out by I don't know. It just sounds like another
Yeah.
piece of background music versus something that sounds a little edgier and raw and not as polished. I think people with ears for music hear the music and not the production, and then that grabs them. So I'm finding there's like the two audiences that like we're kind of divide. I don't know. We've always liked different genres, but I feel like now it's even
Right.
more clear between people that just need background music versus people that want to absorb the
sense.
art side of.
We never really
what
talked
music
about
is.
it. We put a lot of fucking time and work into the tree fort stuff.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it, but that really
Soured you is what it did.
it fucking really disheartened me
Yeah.
on the pod with how bad it did. Listeners, I'm sure I've bitched about it, but not only did we put a lot of work into the edit and the actual tree fort, like being at tree fort and what we were doing at tree fort, but a lot of pre-work, a lot of getting with these bands and making sure the publicists had what they needed for the future and for when it released, and plans for what we were going to do with the bands after and stuff like that. And it all just completely blew up. None of the bands none of the band's teams followed through. The bands were great.
Yeah.
The interviews were beautiful. The people were amazing, but none of their teams followed through. Nobody watched it. You are a very, very positive person. Does that sort of shit just roll off your back?
I think in that case it did. If we look at YouTube as like the platform and what does well on YouTube, probably should have talked this through and thought about maybe for YouTube breaking it up into 20-minute chunks. Cause like, I can't speak to like the audio podcasts cause I have no expertise there other than the times I talk with you guys. Unless you're huge already and have a giant following where people will watch you regardless, like if you're a Joe Rogan or somebody, it's hard to get away with anything that's longer than 30 minutes on YouTube. Like I watch a ton of YouTube and it's because that's my attention span. Like even like the Daily Show will like break their thing up into these 20-minute segments. While I still think, I don't know, it's really cool because I think it came together awesome, almost like a mini documentary. And I think
there were a lot of ways that we could have done better, but I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah,
I thought it was so well done.
It's just that it's the platform isn't going to feed it to people that are looking for that. And the people looking for that probably aren't on YouTube looking for that.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think, I don't know, as far as listeners, this is a question for people listening. Like,
I'm looking at the numbers for the audio.
yeah.
And like, I'll be totally honest with you, it did worse than every episode around it.
Yeah.
By like 20%.
Wow.
It like, around it are quick fires, this is unfair. Around it are the quick fires, the Luis Post interview, and Soundgarden.
Okay.
And all those interviews, all those episodes
those
blew
are
it out of
great.
the water.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not even that it's great. It's who's going to be searching for Tree Fort
Exactly.
versus who's going to be searching for Soundgarden.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. Search volume.
right.
That's just basic, keyword research there.
It just it really bummed me out because I thought what you did with the camera work and the editing for Tree Fort was
amazing.
fucking amazing. I don't think it bugged me that the episodes didn't do well. I think it bugged me that I was so impressed with what had been done and it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm not trying to bring this shit down.
I still had a ton of fun doing it. Honestly, like, especially that intro that we did for it. Like, I don't know.
awesome.
I have not had that much fun filming something or working on like recording something. Like the numerous takes and making you like get in bed and like.
Bet you like
I
that.
just loved it.
Yeah.
Like, it's always a dream to turn the lights off and just have some blue light filming half naked David.
I know.
In bed.
Oh, I know. That's everybody's dream. I was talking to my uncle, who's a big, and I've talked about him many, many times on this podcast, but he's a huge reason for a lot of the bands I love. And I was we will randomly every like month, he loves to talk and so do I. And so we'll have a random hour-and-a-half phone conversation. And we were talking about the pod. This was very, very like a few days ago. And I was telling him because I've had a lot of Rachel, and even though I've struggled a lot this year because of stuff like Tree Fort, where I've kind of been like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like it's just disheartening because of how much the people that we've worked with have kind of just not done what they should have done. And I was being a little bitch about why it's not growing. And my uncle, basically what my uncle turned it into was like, hey, dude, you're drinking and talking about music with your buddies once a week. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just go fucking have fun. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And he's totally right.
I love that.
Should be seeing it.
Well, I mean, it keeps it.
Well, I still hope we do Tree Fort again next year.
Yeah.
And even
Just
if it's
go
for
from a different angle.
even if it's for 50 people, I don't give a shit anymore.
I mean,
I think it's fun.
Yeah, we could. I think we could figure out a way to make it work a little bit better, and maybe something that kind of gives bands a little more ownership over their. Like if we did little segments, and each band has their own segment, and then like that. That way, they're kind of promoting themselves and not also it's more specific to them instead of sending it out and be like, okay, if you want to see us, you got to go to 45 minutes in, and then we're that segment.
Yeah,
Make it easier for
We've
them.
Talked about just following like a couple bands the whole time, but I think you're right. I think what's better would be if we did mini episodes, like 5 or 6 mini episodes that were all about one specific band.
Yeah, do like 20 minute segments for the YouTube stuff. And I don't know how you turn that into like a long form podcast thing. And someone put it
just throw them together. Yeah. It's not
I mean, all of those could have been broken up pretty easy.
I'll take care of the audio shit. I'm not worried about that. You were right, Svend, because you told me one thing in a text, and I think you're right. And I'm going to try it with the finale. But what is fucking murder on YouTube is to just keep trying on the same channel.
Yeah.
If your channel has anything less than like 1,000 watches per episode, people are going to see that and they will never ever click on it. And so what makes more sense is to just keep shutting down your channel, and just for the season 4 finale, I'll open our YouTube channel back up just for that. Mm-hmm. And then if it does well, I'll keep it going until we have an episode that does 50, and I'll shut it back down. And then when we do Tree Fort, I'll reopen it and see if we get, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what you have to do with YouTube.
Well, I think one thing that works is, what some people have found is that a brand new account that hasn't trained the algorithm yet does so much better because it hasn't trained the algorithm yet. Like if you think about it, we used to post all of our like short promos on there, and then we had a giant break. And so like we told the algorithm, like, we only do shorts, and then we stopped doing anything, and we're like telling the algorithm we do nothing. And then we started doing like long videos, right?
Yeah.
And so the algorithm gets confused and doesn't know who to show the channel to. But if you have a brand new channel with no history, and you have a strategy and you do the same thing from the start, then you train the algorithm like, this is the kind of content we're doing, and then it knows which audience to push you to consistently.
Fucking
and then
stupid.
The other thing too, I heard that someone that does editing for all formats got asked this question about like repurposing, podcast content for YouTube and for Instagram and TikTok, or vice versa, using video stuff for that and trying to combine it into a podcast. And this isn't really like a strategy or an answer, but it helps me when I think about how to make plans for stuff. Is that like, if you think of a podcast as like a country road, it's a long country road, straight.
Does it take you home?
Curves. It's gentle. You just listen. You
belong?
put something on. It's like slow paced. But like YouTube's like
Not
driving
a lot
on
of
the
John
freeway.
Denver fans around here. Okay.
You're getting there faster.
Yeah.
And then like Instagram and TikTok is
shit,
like Times Square, where there's just a billion things going on all at the same time. And so like attention, it's basically your attention span goes from like podcasts to YouTube to like all the short form stuff.
That's a good analogy.
It is a good analogy. Like, I don't know what we do with it, but it's a really good analogy.
It basically just means that like, if you really want to do all the things, you have to do things 3 times, right? Like you do the thing for your long form, then you do another thing for your like YouTube, and then another thing for your TikTok, Instagram short stuff.
Well, I guess the good thing is that nowadays there's so many tools to do that for you. Like that's one good thing is I do know enough now through editing that, I could turn a video episode into a automatic TikTok with an automatic Instagram and an automatic fucking, 20-minute YouTube that would take 5 minutes. I think there's just a stupid old person artsy part of me that fucking hates that.
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking I don't want to fucking do that. It's gross.
There are like AI tools and strategies to take long form, and this is like, people like Gary Vaynerchuk and people preach this, like shoot one long form content and then chop that up into pieces.
Yeah.
I think that works for certain things. The smart people will sit down, do long form content, and then at the end of that, then they'll shoot some stuff specifically geared for short form that's in the same environment, but they're being very deliberate and smart about it. So it looks like it's part of this other long form thing, but really it was structured specifically for short form. And it's just like one recording session doing multiple things. I think that might be the strategy.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to like hunt for the diamonds that would like blow up short form in our long form content, maybe like build some stuff that is specifically sculpted for the short form.
So I found the same thing in studying, and that's why one of the things that we're doing next year is we are doing 2-parters for every episode. We're doing the episode and then we're just doing a bullshitting afterwards, because I feel like what will happen in that bullshitting is you will go back to, oh man, you remember when we were talking about this?
Yeah.
Like you will remember the golden nuggets of that episode and just go off of that. And I feel
right there.
That's smart. Like, and that teases the episode that then you can like release all the bullshit, like quick clips leading up to the release of that's smart.
Yeah, leading up to it.
I'm glad I could sit in on this strategic
I foresee
planning
us
session.
having videos with dozens and dozens of watchers. Much like Kid Rock at the Republican National Convention.
We can have as many as a baker's dozen.
Sven, what do you have going on today?
Not really sure. Like, it's starting to get loud out there.
Did your girl go get her hair
Got
did?
her hair did. She's back. And then I think our oldest kid has like a party at a trampoline park thingy that he's going to.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. I think that's in like an hour.
Oh, broken arms
Right?
everywhere.
Nah, it's actually, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Sven, what's your favorite verse, chorus, verse episode of all time?
Favorite one of all time? This is going to sound really weird.
All the ones I'm in.
No, season 3 finale. Was that the one we did in Garden Valley?
Yeah.
No, that's
Was that season 2 finale? That was season 2
Right?
finale.
Oh no, because
Yeah.
we're in season. Sorry.
Season 3 was maybe not the best.
That's right.
I heard the like sharp intake of breath from TL.
Yeah, wait. I
Feel that pressure drop. I think when I think back at how crappy I felt the second morning or like the next day,
Yeah. You really did.
I don't know why that made it my favorite, but just like getting through that day was so hard. And somehow in the
Shared
end,
adversity.
I think I said some really smart things. Miraculously.
You always do.
We did good.
The finales are my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are. Even when they go awry, they're still my favorite.
I think all the
experiences.
Woodstock ones are like my runner-ups.
Ooh, those were good.
Those were good too.
Probably, yeah.
I was re-listening to the 94 Woodstock one this week. I was just trying to get a feel for some of the older stuff. And I was, just like skipping around. And the Woodstock ones were really, really good.
Yeah.
Even 94, where there's,
Oh,
This is a
honestly,
shit show.
there's like 2 things to fucking talk about
Yeah.
in the 94 one. It's like Green Day and how about the other Woodstocks that happened? That's like it.
Yeah.
You know what kind of excites me is what? Stop it.
I have a lot of guesses.
We've covered a lot of at some point we're going to get to like a level where we're going to have to go back and revisit things we've already covered.
Yep.
That's exciting to me, is to go back and talk about 1969 again someday.
Yes.
And,
I've already thought of it.
Like, right. And like we're doing 94 this year, but like going back and talking about 94 again in however many years. That's first run through. We're like doing this retrospective for the first time, but then we get to go back and like, oh yeah, there was this, and then we're better at doing this because we've been in the mode of like researching music differently than we ever have before, and just different age perspectives. So that's exciting to me. I'm actually looking forward to that.
I'm excited for, I agree. When we get to where we're doing revisit episodes of like our first episode, Kid A and Talking Book. We don't know what Evil and Rachel think of Kid A and Talking Book. They haven't gotten a
I
talk
know
about
what they
that.
think of Talking Book.
That's
Sorry.
I mean, they better think a very specific way about Talking Book, or 200 consecutive episodes, Svend.
So
That's a
many.
lot.
Dude, you are the hardest worker
Crazy.
I know in podcasting.
Out of the four of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of the four of us.
I don't know. Have I done more than one consecutive episode?
Yeah, at the beginning there.
I mean, when
I
we
guess so.
started, you did the first like fucking 15 with me or
That's
something
true.
like that. Yeah. You really padded your stats in the beginning of,
Right up front.
of the podcast.
You had no one else to call in.
David Bowie's playing in my ears right now. So, do you guys listen to music when we pod?
No.
I do. I've been listening.
What metal
to
are you listening to, Evil?
Well, I've been bouncing between the Orville Peck, the new Orville Peck, that Sturgill album, and Unearth, of course, because
Does Orville Peck have? I thought he only had a single out.
he has a single.
His whole album's
Yeah.
out.
No, just a single.
Just the Beck one, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Orville Beck.
The Death Valley High or whatever.
Orville Peck. Has Svend talked about Orville Peck with us?
No, we told him to listen to it.
Did you listen to it?
Have you?
You need to listen to Orville Peck, Sven.
I can't remember if I listened to it. I think I might have started, and then I think I got scared.
When do we see you next, Sven? You and I, we're recording next week
We
in
gotta
2
do some
weeks.
Dave, right? We doing?
We got to
the
finish
last
off our
DMV?
Dave stuff.
Love Dave.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I kind of feel like you hoard Svend for yourself. now,
Yeah.
because he's on episodes that we aren't on.
Yeah, fuck you
We
guys.
only get to see him once a year.
I know.
It's like my
Sad
real
face.
dad.
Oh wow.
We have our TikTok.
Man, I thought the support group thing was a joke, but this is for real.
The problem is that it's not a problem. It's actually a beautiful thing. But there's a thing about Sven where I can tee him off and then he'll just go for like 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
there's really no room for anyone else on those episodes.
Aw, that's
It's a
fair.
really polite way of saying I won't shut the F up.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a podcast. That's what we're here for, right?
It is. It's what you're supposed to do.
What's the album behind
right.
you, Evil?
Right here?
Yeah.
This is Jake Beg Raw. That is Gary Clark Jr.'s new album.
God damn it. I have that album.
Weird
I should
reaction.
probably know what it fucking...
Fucking great album, man.
I was like, that was a strange reaction.
That's been one of our. We've been listening to a lot of Gary Clark Jr. and Gary Clark Jr. radio.
I've been listening to like weird random indie playlists that I'm trying to get my music on,
Nice.
which is really weird.
We're actually going to see him. We're driving up to Montana to Missoula to see him in mid-August.
I feel like I
At
tried to get you to go see him with me somewhere else, but you were a dick about it.
Salt Lake. I know.
Sounds
this
right.
was Megan. Of
Don't
her
blame Megan.
Own accord planned this trip, so this was not. She's
Oh.
like, well, hey, let's go to Missoula to the amphitheater and watch Gary Clark Jr. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
No, I think I'm seeing him, but I think I'm seeing him like right after. Oh, yeah, he's going to Woodinville in Washington 2 days later. So I think I'm seeing him like 2 days after you see him. So don't wear him out.
Right out too.
Okay, on that note, guys, I've got to peace out
Miss you.
and go find out what's going on with the rowdy bunch. I don't even know if you can
Yeah.
hear them. Maybe not.
Tell your
That's
wife
my-
we
Cannot
said
hear him. You
hi.
sounded so
Thanks
good.
for stopping by.
Yeah.
And I'm mad at you
This
that you
was
won't
such a
take a
good
shot with
surprise.
us, but cheers to you, Sven.
That's fine.
I had the next best thing. I mean, this is
Yeah, you
doing a
did.
number on my brain and stomach right now. So
Poisonous enough.
You should probably take a shot of Hennessy
Okay,
for
guy.
him, Rachel.
there we go.
Love you, my
You take an
man.
extra one
I
just
can't.
for me.
I have stuff to do.
That was
Sven.
such a good surprise. Had
That
you
was
planned
good.
that?
We had actually talked about
course.
what would have been funny, but I was like, no, we can't. We want you to talk to. But we were like, what would be fucking hilarious is if he just randomly came on at a random time and like forced us all to do a shot with him and then was just like, peace him out and just fucking got right the fuck off.
Goodbye.
That would
That's
be
what
good
he
too.
wanted
Yeah.
to do. I was like, no, we need to fucking talk to you. Next year, when we're in fuck it mode,
Yeah.
I'm
What was this year? What mode is this?
1994. We actually, I think this year more than any other year, we had consistent. Our content was relatable to what the next content was going to be. It actually took
Sure.
plotting, but next year is fuck it mode. And so, but per example, one of the bands that I have decided that we are going
French.
to one of the bands that we one of the bands that I've decided that we have to talk about that we're going to that we're going to dissect next year is because I feel so guilty about not advocating more for Downward Spiral that we're going to dissect 9 Inch Nails next year.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Right? Because I do think there are other albums of theirs that are better than Downward Spiral.
Interesting fact about 9 Inch Nails. I used to be terrified of them in high school. So this will be interesting to revisit.
Yeah. Exactly. That's part of...
I'm excited for that. That'll be fun.
But speaking to that, what are some albums or bands that we haven't done yet that you guys really want to do, excluding the one obvious one that Evil could just yell out right now?
We're not good enough to do that yet.
Oh. A man who knows his limitations.
No, we're not good enough to talk about Might As Well Jump.
That's fair.
It'd actually be a pretty easy fucking dissection. The guitar is really good.
So's the video. The video is amazing.
You and I, Mr. David,
Mr. Dave. I like it.
We've said repeatedly that we haven't talked about Rival Sons enough.
Oh, that's true.
You know, we did cover their albums last year, but I feel like even still, that's like a band that's just been they're criminally underrated in terms of like media exposure. Like I think they have a pretty good fan base. And they do well.
They're a band that could use the help right now. I don't want to say they could use the help, but they're a band that we actually have some ties to, in that it actually would make sense and be nice of us to cover them. Which
they're like the best rock band out there right now. And right now, meaning in the last 10 years. They're one of the most consistent, best rock bands of the last 10 to 15 years that I don't hear a lot about.
Dude, the album that they came out with, what was the name of it? The album that they came out with last year.
The two.
Dark Fighter.
Yeah, Dark Fighter and Lightbringer are both great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yawning Rachel, do you have anything that you think we need to talk about?
It's kind of a scary thing, but I kind of want to do like Whitney or Michael, like just like a little bit, like an album here or there. You already hit some big guys, like you've got Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Svend and I did Thriller.
I don't know. I feel like there's some classics that we could hit.
We could cover Whitney more as just an episode on Whitney.
Sure.
Just on, what she did and her
I feel
life
like Whitney would be more than an episode. Like that would be like.
I mean, I would love to. In fact, all three of us love Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Right? Like Evil, you're a big Whitney fan. I think that'd be a great one to do.
Yeah. Which is weird, but it's true.
I mean, you can't fight talent, right?
Right.
No, Whitney Houston's a good one. I thought you were kind of in the not talk about Michael part.
No, of course I'm in the not talk about Michael Park. But
I have an experiment.
So how the fuck are we going to talk about him?
That would be fun.
Separation
to
of church and state.
I like it.
Michael Jackson vein.
I feel like that's different, but
Evil, go on.
Changing the electoral process.
Yes, get rid of the electoral college. It's bullshit.
Says the girl from Idaho.
Guns N' Roses. I feel like we need to talk about
Love Guns N' Roses.
Stupid, dumb two. What? Yeah,
November Rain.
We have talked zero Guns N' Roses on this podcast. Zero.
Yeah.
And it's
I know
for our age group and the music that we love.
Yeah.
Arguably the most influential band that there is.
Arguably, yes.
They're big.
Well, it is arguable.
I could argue that. They're very influential.
We can title every episode "Welcome to the Jungle." I was a nerd when I was in like elementary school and stuff. Like I was popular, but I was a fucking nerd. And I remember I hung out with a kid that was like a couple years older than me and thought it was way cooler than me. And he was like, "I'm going to turn this music on that you're like, it's going to blow your mind." And he turned on Appetite for Destruction.
Did it blow your mind?
I know that. I was like, I know this shit.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, really? Well, what's the next song?" I was like, "Fucking Mr. Brownstone." And I started listing off the lyrics, and he's like, "Okay."
You showed him.
That's funny.
Who's the cool one now?
Yeah, I showed him. Fucking cooler than you, bro.
Does he have a podcast?
No, he's probably dead. What? Like, I didn't say a name. I don't remember his name. What? He had really bad parents.
Aw. Sometimes people have really bad parents.
I don't remember. Like, that's literally the only thing I remember. It is their fault. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day?
I don't even know.
I'm headed to a barbecue. And I said I was going to be drunk already. So it should be fun.
Have you been drinking beyond over the last 45 minutes?
No, I've been drinking this
What's
whole
in
time.
that?
This is the slushie that I made. The lemonade and...
We've been doing this for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
David, first of all, there's more alcohol in that and then in the Hennessy that my body can process in the course of 2 hours.
I don't believe that.
Also, I haven't had alcohol since the last time we hung out. I keep a very low tolerance.
You keep one?
Yeah, because I only drink when I hang out with you.
Well, it doesn't make sense because you're on this podcast.
I know, but because I need to be drunk, so I need to keep a low tolerance, so I don't drink in my spare time.
Guns N' Roses is a good one.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses would be really interesting to talk about, not just because of what it meant for when they first came out, but what happened to them in the later years. And
the mess.
We can talk about albums like
the Buckethead
Chinese Democracy, which I bet some of us have. I personally think that album is good, and most people fucking shat all over it. I think there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
with Guns N' Roses.
The other band, I we've mentioned them, but I'm like, there's not a lot to dissect in terms of catalog because it's.
Well, that's okay.
Hold on, let me. But there's a lot
Whose
to talk
fucking dog
about.
Is that?
1979 to 1980, and that's
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
No,
AC/DC.
So.
Oh. Yes.
I typed in music bands into the internet just to see what would pull up. And AC/DC is actually the second one on the list.
Oh my God.
It's the Beatles,
that
AC/DC.
reminds
Dude.
You know what's funny about that? There is a meme with it's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
And he's got the music band t-shirt.
Yeah.
The AC/DC logo, but it says music band.
I got that for David
funny.
a birthday
it's
ago.
Hello,
fellow
children,
it's from
or fellow-
30 Rock.
Yeah.
Hi fellow youths or whatever it is.
Music band.
Dude, 1979, London Calling,
Yeah.
Off the Wall, The Wall, Unknown Pleasures, Breakfast in America,
That's a good year.
Highway to Hell. Good God. Rust Never Sleeps, Van Halen, Dos.
Have you done 79 yet? You haven't.
We did 78.
No. The Specials.
Gotta wait 5 years.
God damn.
There's a reason Smashing Pumpkins wrote a song about that year.
Drums and Wires by XTC. God damn. This is a fucking good year. B-52s.
Love the B-52s.
The Knack. So yeah, next year, band dissections. We're doing 10 out of 10s. Doing album exchanges. We're doing year discussions. Quick fires. And that's what we're doing.
That's it. Fuck interviews.
Yeah. Nah, I don't want to have people on anymore.
Suck.
It's too hard.
That's what
Hard
she said.
to organize.
They kind of do. The only other person that I want to have on at some point is Trevor, and that's just I want to talk about the Doom soundtrack.
Trevor's great. Oh wait, my Trevor?
No, not your Trevor.
You want to talk
Okay.
Doom soundtrack with Trevor Phipps from Unearth? What?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Awkward.
Yes, you're Trevor. Duh.
He's okay.
Evil's texting me about the fucking Q3 1994 list.
Not 94. Fuck. That was wrong. That was
You idiot.
I was trying.
Oh, you're talking about Quickfires.
Yeah. I fucked up. There was one album that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot to. Yeah, anyway.
Rachel,
David.
what are your thoughts on 200 episodes of Verse, Chorus, Verse?
It just is. It seems like it went by in the blink of an eye. It does not. When you shouted out those numbers of how many episodes we've been on,
That's wild.
it is weird to think about.
It is pretty weird.
And it's
right?
weird to think about how many years. Like we're in the fourth season. Me and Evil have been here for right about 3 years at this point, because it was right about July
weird.
that we got hired officially. And to think of that, we've spent that much time together talking about nonsense is just.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
Something.
Go on.
You know, I wish Svend was still here for this one because it is like the first finale. I think was one of my favorite experiences because I hadn't met Rachel or Svend in person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was actually
it was like
that was
magic.
fun.
Dude, I think that was the most fun episode period.
I got wasted.
And I think
you
it was
did.
just it was we all like I was wasted too, but it was all four of us, just us four,
yeah.
and we were just having fun with it.
Yeah.
When we went to dinner, had good cocktails.
That was fun.
That does
It
not
was. It
seem
was a
like
blast,
as
and
long ago
that's-
as it was.
It was though.
That's exactly what I want to do this year for the finale, because that was the best way to do it.
I agree.
And screw me
think-
for trying to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
I think as fun as like, let's go to Maui and all that sounds, to your point, it
Maui,
complicates
though.
things. I mean, yeah. Let's just
It
fucking
does
go to
complicate
Maui.
things.
Fuck the podcast. Let's just go to Maui.
Yay.
I'm actually down with that.
Yeah. Team building.
That's a great idea.
That's what we'll do in July.
Since
we'll
we don't
you can't
get
go to
raises
Maui
or
in
paid
July.
in general.
Don't worry, I don't either. What countries? The United States is the most that we are
course.
by our numbers, average weekly. What countries do you think are our top countries?
Ooh.
Germany and Ireland.
No Canada?
Canada is in our top 5.
Ooh.
Good.
Was I in the top 5 with those
Thank
guesses?
you, Canada. Nope.
Son of a
Which,
bitch.
what the fuck,
I just-
Ireland?
I just
know
know at
that
one
we have
point-
listeners in Ireland.
Yeah, I'm
Are
drinking
you not
Green
telling your
Spot
fucking
right now
friends?
for you fucks. God damn it.
Yeah. Actually, Germany too. We were big
We were
in
big
Germany.
in Dusseldorf for a second.
We do have one person that consistently writes from Germany, but yeah, what the fuck? Tell your friends. But no, Germany and Ireland not in there.
About the Great Britain.
One of these surprises me.
Really? Croatia.
UK is number 2.
Okay, UK. Good.
I was going to say, is there anything?
We have friends in the UK.
We do have
Yes.
friends.
Yeah.
I can think of at least 2.
So I wonder if, you know what? I'm looking at my. Is Scotland still considered UK? They didn't.
Yeah.
Did they? Hopefully, there's some Scottish people because I like you guys.
They're gonna yell at me because there's the Commonwealth, there's the UK, there's Great Britain, I personally don't understand how it all works.
I don't either. There's like a joke meme too that's like, it's really simple. This is the UK.
Yeah,
this
I
is
know.
the
I know.
And it's yeah.
It's helpful if you know the flags, because the UK flag has all of the flags put on top of each other.
Nah. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, you've been to fucking Scotland.
Sorry. Yeah.
You can't. There are people that are considered in the UK that if you say you're from the UK, they will get mad at you.
Right.
They'll be like, don't fucking
Yeah.
don't fucking say that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, write in and let us know. I don't care.
Because like UK is
We've got Canada is right. United States,
sorry,
UK.
I'm still rabbit holing on. Like UK is like England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland,
Yeah.
and
No, the UK is not Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
It's Northern
Northern
Ireland.
Ireland, not Ireland.
Well, yeah, but tell that to the NRA. Not our NRA, their
Yeah.
NRA,
Right.
not the National Rifle Association.
They don't care.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop now while we're ahead.
Any other guesses for? Well, I'll give you for our top 10. I'll take a drink if you can name one more in our top 10, but you only get 2 guesses. We'll say. I feel like one of them's right there. I think it's because of how much I compliment them. At one point, it was bound to catch on.
Australia.
Yes,
Nice.
Australia's number 3.
Ooh.
What I would like to do at some point, because there is a
Really
whole-
working on my hot
whole-
Australian chicks.
There's a whole like
Continent.
group, yeah, the whole continent. No, a fucking whole group of like rock bands from Australia that I love. Like we talk about King Gizzard a lot.
Yes.
But there's a whole
Yes.
bunch of other stuff there that's really interesting.
Absolutely. In fact, I kind of respect it, but I have a young person that I work with, and she will not stop talking about she will like only listen to Australian bands. But when she turns her shit on, I'm like, fuck, man, this is good. Like, who is
Yeah.
this? It's like just some random fucking new age Australia band. Speaking of AC/DC.
Right. Yeah.
Evil, any other guesses?
Any Scandinavian
Anything?
countries? I'm just hoping that us talking about.
Yes.
Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden is number 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Under the wire, man.
Here are our top 10 average weekly country listenings. We've got Belgium
Wow.
Ooh.
at number 10,
Nice.
Sweden at number
Nice.
9.
Perfect.
We've got Spain. Spain.
España.
That's amazing.
We've got Mexico.
Oh, that makes sense.
We've got India,
India.
which I'm going to edit out. I'm going to edit this out, but I'm wondering if it's like
Oh.
Oh. Maybe.
Wait,
everybody's
we
like,
should
oh.
do. What's the fucking do? We need to do an episode on Dollar Mindy.
What is that?
Dollar Mindy?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Evil. I mean, we could do an episode of True Crime about him, it looks like.
Yikes.
Number 5 is Canada. Number 4, nobody would have seen it coming. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked that this is our 4th. France is our number 4.
Really?
Wow. The French like us.
Well, we talk about Gojira.
We do talk about
quite a bit.
Gojira. Oh, speaking of which, I went to France. You know what I didn't find in the 2 fucking record stores I went into? Gojira. What the fuck, France? Like, come on. I did find some good music, though. Number 3, Australia. Number 2, UK. And number 1, the good old motherfucking US of A by like
US and
10 times. 10 times
USA.
more, which we were actually
USA.
really close for a while with the UK
Yeah.
through season 2, but USA really shot themselves.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't even do that on purpose. I was doing a drug joke, turned into a gun joke, and it worked even better.
All is right in the world.
Evil. We're getting close to the end, but what about you? Any thoughts on 200 episodes of verse, chorus, verse?
I'm shocked that how many I've been on. It doesn't seem like that at all.
You guys been on a lot? Put a lot of hours in.
Yeah.
A lot of drinking.
Doesn't
Yeah.
feel
A lot
like
of shots.
It doesn't feel like work. I feel like we're just getting started.
Damn fucking.
I feel like we haven't even figured out what this is yet.
What are we even doing here?
Also that.
I mean, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a valid point.
figured out how to do an episode. We're actually like I said, going back and doing the audios, we're actually really good at the episodes now. It's quick. It's
Woo.
witty. It's
Get in,
once
get
you
out.
once you edit out the us and me saying what's funny
Racist
is
stuff.
it's and the racism and Evil's fucking old man size. It's actually pretty quick.
There it is. There's another one.
Great Britain, Scotland, England, Wales, United Kingdom, Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. British Isles is the Isles, including Ireland. Ireland is all of Ireland, including Northern Ireland. The Commonwealth
Obviously.
is very confusing. Sorry.
You didn't help. You made it worse.
Oh.
200 episodes, you guys.
Yep.
This is an episode, right? This is an episode.
Once you edit it, it'll
allegedly.
have some semblance of an
fine.
episode. Yeah.
We'll have a good old fashioned 45 minutes of audio. Everybody,
3 hours later.
we're all gonna go. I'm gonna keep drinking. Fuck it.
I mean,
That's what I
same
say.
barbecue
It
time.
is. Yeah, it's 11:15. I'm gonna go mow my lawn, sneak a little bourbon in the flask. I don't know. Everybody, I love you all so much. There are listeners that have been with us since before the beginning. It's not even a fucking listener at this point. You're all just friends, you know, fucking Kim in Seattle, Angie in Wales, Mark, of course. I mean, Mark talks to, he messages all of you, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Of course he does. Cause he's fucking Mark.
That's awesome.
We've made friends in doing this pod. In the words of my uncle, I get to fucking hang out with my buddies once a week and drink and talk about music. Who the fuck?
Yeah.
If life isn't about that, then what the fuck is life about? I love every single listener. I love Rachel and Evil and Svend. And join us next week when we do a 10 out of 10 to finish off our Lady Peace episodes, Spiritual Machines.
Oh, wow.
Where we end up talking entirely too much about the fucking theories of Spiritual Machine and not the actual album. But hey, that's the way it is.
Largely my fault.
Sounds right.
I still have a beef with you guys on that after editing because you guys hold so much against that album for it being this unrealistic, futuristic thing.
Sure do.
I don't understand. You guys really hold the art up to, like, when you watch a movie that's like in 2030 or like a Running Man or a Blade Runner sort of thing, you guys hold that against it?
You mean if it's garbage? Sorry. How
dare you?
That was aggressive.
How?
If it's poorly
Dare
done,
you.
then
Feels like-
yes, I'm gonna.
It wasn't poorly done.
Sorry.
Spiritual
That
Machines
was-
was not poorly done.
It feels like now, you remember back in the day when on Conan O'Brien, how they would do in the year 2000. And then like the year 2000 came and went, and then they just went back to that because, yeah.
'Cause it's funny.
It's not anything like that at all.
Well, Spiritual Machines is next week, and it doesn't sound like it, but I promise. Actually, we all liked it.
Yeah.
I promise. VerseChorusFirst.com. It doesn't exist for now, but it will at VerseChorusFirstPod.
Fix that. We just gotta redirect.
Waiting on you, big guy.
What?
It's true. I turned in my bio
Your website,
months ago.
man. It's not fucking me. Oh, you have a bio? Nice.
Yeah.
That has been a long time ago. We love you guys. You're the best. Here's to 200 more episodes.
Huzzah.
We'll see you in season 7. I count good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more cheer. Does anybody have alcohol?
Does
left?
everybody have alcohol left? Cheers.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's a cheers for you all. I hope you took it with us. Good night. And good luck.
luck.
Fit together naturally.
Woo!